He's probably the only question mark of this team, but he can play at an elite level.
Shea Keetler and Will Lynch at the face-off dot will get us going on the GT emblem here in Atlanta, and we're underway. Big battle for it. Lynch has the advantage, but can't pick up the GB. Now Keetler's battling for it. Still loose, and eventually the Irish pick it up.
Look at them on tape. They score with both hands. They use the top portion of the offensive zone to their advantage in terms of just seeing where defensive players are overcommitting.
Man inside, behind the back, scores! Of course, it's Jake Taylor to put the Irish on the board first.
This is big for the Irish because when you defend Notre Dame, you have to deal with Jake Taylor inside. You're going to deny him the ball, or you're going to come off of him and support these matchups. Maryland is deciding to slide, but when Jake Taylor's in slide, he's one of the worst players you can leave because he's automatic. And he shows you the backhand ability.
Just talk about Taylor inside here with the shot. It's like I hit the pipe. Stays with the Irish and Maharris. Will Maharris, advantage for Notre Dame, scores! Kavanaugh on the doorstep. They're moving at lightning speed here early, Cart.
Will Maharris was a attackman in high school with vision and the ability to dissect the defense. He's playing midfield right now for Kevin Corrigan and offensive coordinator Chris Wojcik. You see the ability to throw that through pass to the backside, and this is where Kavanaugh loves to set his feet. When you give him the ball around 5 and 5, a lot of play 2 years outside of that game.
Right, and he's not going against Luke Weirman either today. Turnover for the Irish.
You know, you could point to the Liam Entemans and the Chris and Pat Kavanaughs and the Jake Taylors.
With Nate Schwitzenberg, new name for the Irish, 27. I know you really like the way he's played this year.
He's been terrific the first few games.
Be a look here, score! It's Eric Spanos, puts the Terps on the board.
Spanos, a KG vet, redshirt junior. He's a big boy at 6'5". You see, he catches this ball, and Campisi tries to go over his head. Campisi's about 5'11". If you don't land this check, you're in trouble because you're shot ready and you're going to make it count.
To the pipe.
Talking to Chris Wojcik, too. He loves moving Chris Kavanaugh around. Right now, he's at the top of the box. He's an attackman playing in a traditional midfield spot. He's a 360 attackman. Move him anywhere around.
Angrick gets a good look here. Save made by McNaney. So a couple back to X, now back to the other side. Defense all over the place. Great job by the Irish converging on the ball.
And there was Schwitzenberg, and I love that combination of light 90 and Schwitzenberg 27. Cheshire, Connecticut, two-sport athlete at Notre Dame with football. So he's going to be a little rusty in the early stages of this season, but he is electric.
Harris with the bad pass, the turnover.
Schultz from Ridgewood, New Jersey. He's an attackman in high school. I watched his tape this past week. He was getting to the rack, dominating matchups. He has a bright future.
There he is, loses the ball initially, gets it back. We'll get it up to Aiden Aiken. Another young man who's been getting a lot more playing time as the season progresses. Stovall gets his left hand free, but Richard, that's McLean. Kavanaugh, head up, looking for a pass. Tried to get it to Taylor, but it goes wanting.
For Notre Dame, athletic two-way guys, two-handed. They're going to be a bear to deal with. That is Will Donovan playing defense, chasing and harassing.
Relentless. Stamos is going to get a look here. Ricciardelli makes the save.
He's made a couple big stops. I like his ability to gobble it low, too. You're
a heck of a player.
Yeah, Picorni Adian White has some of those stick skills and crazy shots like Jake Taylor. I mean, behind the backs, wraparounds. He's got the hands.
I asked Coach to describe his play, and he said, "Score by face-on." More on that later. Got to give 14 and White his flowers, though. Fresh off the gridiron. He knows what it's like to play in a football stadium like this, Kark, but he can do it on the lacrosse field as well.
They wanted to hold him out, keep him fresh. Target this game. Last week against Georgetown, he had a couple runs. One, he stuck the corner with his left hand. This time he goes back to his dominant right, and Notre Dame is up.
Working on the right side. Back to Kavanaugh at X. Tried to get the switch. Long pull stays on Kavanaugh. That's a tough shot. Sails it wide. They'll go to Maryland. Nobody backing up for the
move shallow more. You get into the body, advantage 27.
Final minute of this first quarter. And the Terps take full advantage. Spanos, for the second time today, finds the back of the net.
How about the deception of Eric Spanos? His ability to lull Schwitzenberg to sleep, kind of, right? It looks like he's catching the ball, and then he plants his foot to get underneath him. How quick he changes the direction. Looks like it's just going to be a catch and a transfer.
Really is almost surreal, though, to be here at Bobby Dodd and have seen so many football games on this field. To be able to see a lacrosse game on turf, and Richard Daly was forced to make that save after Keitler won the face-off cleanly to himself.
He's had 3 saves in this game so far, and every single one of them is low. They've had success shooting high.
He's the more physical of the 2 face-off men we'll see today for Maryland. Tic-tac-toe passing, and it's loose in front, picked up by the Terps.
The Terps have been had from a year ago, right? With Eric Dobson at the midfield, and Pat Cavanaugh wins the Tewaaraton, Liam Entenmann.
That was a great
amount
save.
of talent that's back on this team right now is frightening. I mentioned the open, 9 preseason All-Americans. If you're Maryland, you got to play mistake-free lacrosse. That means clearing the ball exceptionally well.
Here, and we saw him on fan picture day before he ever played a game. First time we ever saw him, we were like, this little kid is the best point guard to ever come out of New York City, and boy, did he prove that right off the bat. Loose ball to your point, Kark. Maryland's got to win all those 50-50
This
GBs.
guy can shoot, too. That's A.J. Larkin. He hit a jump shot against Syracuse.
Again,
There's
Schultz.
Ramsey.
Takes a shot and scores!
I love the upside of Schultz. When I was getting ready for this game, I went into the archives and watched his high school highlights, and I could not tell if he was right-handed or left-handed. When you watch him last week against Princeton, he goes down the alley and he hits a bullet on the run with his left hand. This time, he does it on the opposite side of the field.
2 seconds to spare. Now Keegan.
So Maryland's getting success from early offensive dodging, where we saw Spanos late in the first quarter, and then finding matchups with guts like a freshman and Jack Schultz going after a senior and Ben Ramsey.
Keegan trying to muscle his way through, can't do it on Ramsey.
See how quick they switch? Now you have the switch. Use the pick game because you get the switch.
Erksta scores! Flag down on the play. The officials talk about it in the crease. The Maryland players want confirmation on the goal. They haven't gotten it. They're going to wave it off.
Let's take a look. They're saying he's in the crease. He does not land in the goal mouth. Is he pushed as well?
Or does he land in the goal mouth? Watch this. He makes contact with Richard Daly.
Yes, he does land in the goal mouth. that right knee lands in the goal mouth. That's a good call. The ball crosses the plane of the goal before he lands in the goal mouth, but you cannot land and thrown.
Yes.
He's in the goal mouth.
The officials, before any of that happened, deemed that there was a penalty.
After the review, the player's in the crease prior to the ball crossing the goal line. It hits the post and then goes in. He's in the crease before the ball crosses, so there's no goal.
Okay, I can buy that, but what if... And Notre Dame is a man down.
There's your flag.
Yep, so they didn't give us the call, but that is the case.
So the flag was on the initial.
The push, right. Ramsey's push. So it'll be a 30-second man up for Maryland.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
And the Irish do a nice job of killing off the penalty and getting possession back. It was a disastrous man up for Maryland.
Yeah, the Terps have been good on the extra man. 50% heading into this contest. 4 for 8. Championship game against the Terps last season.
6'6", 225. That shot from Kavanaugh hit his teammate. Ball's loose. Nice job defensively.
This defense is settling in. I mentioned Jesse Bernhardt has done a fabulous job.
As a couple, 7 in black. He'll move it over here to Keegan. Gets by his defender initially. Now the slide comes. He'll put it back up top to Ford.
I'd like to see Keegan on the other side being a lefty. He's losing his angle on the dodge by going back to the left hand when he starts at this upper right side.
Now he'll work to the other side as Ford tries to get it inside. He does. No angle though for the shooter. Now he finds one and scores. Daniel Kelly. Not just one for the Terps. And Maryland takes the lead for the first time this afternoon.
I had a chance to talk to Daniel Kelly at practice yesterday. He said he loves this offensive group. Nobody cares who scores. Everyone gets involved, but this senior is the vocal leader. And he's got a lefty cannon of a shot. Tillman loves Seven's leadership, his attitude, and his love for the game of lacrosse.
Lynch continues to get the better at the face-off dot. Not only do they have possession, but now we've got a flag down. This is going to go against Maryland. So a delayed call against the Terps. We'll see the Irish
with those extra possessions.
Boost and kill, forced behind the cage. Again, a delayed call against Maryland on the first whistle. Inside, Taylor scores though. And Jake Taylor makes certain we won't get an opportunity to see Notre Dame man up yet this afternoon. They'll wipe the flag off. We're even at 4.
Yeah. The push is wiped out. It's a 30-second technical. Goal is good. You have to make a decision. If you're going to not slide from Jake Taylor, you have to be like saran wrap on him. You just can't go. Here's the penalty that's wiped, and Will Lynch is putting on a clinic. But if you look at the Taylor goal, it was like they were showing a little bit. And Boosenkill is a tremendous midfielder. When you watch him, he is at the core of so much of the initiating for Notre Dame. That's not the deep. Like, the stats don't reflect how good he is. Like, when you watch their offense, if there were hockey assists in lacrosse, he'd have a ton of them. This time he gets a real one.
Face onto the middle. Angrick, now he cuts to the middle. Thought he had a shot, but he gets laid out. Boosenkill, though, picks up the loose change and buries it. Irish back on top.
The Terps play this well from a physical perspective, but the ball gets dislodged and an unlucky bounce. That's a good, hard play. Oh, wow. Angrick is able to hold on to that ball. I thought the ball was dislodged the first time I saw it live. This is a tremendous play by Ten and White. Look at Angrick. Hold on to the ball and find Boosenkill. That's amazing. And Daniel Kelly, their cagey vets, sprinkle in a little freshman Jack Schultz. The varied offense of the Maryland Terps.
There's Schultz right there on the shorty, back to his right. Spanos. Got his defender on skates a bit. Ricciardelli was able to go up the ladder and rob him. 4 saves for Ricciardelli.
Because he had the angle. He knew that if he caught that ball, Maryland was sloughed in, was going to give him that opportunity to set his feet and let it rip. Here's a free play.
Yep, this is against Notre Dame.
It's offsides.
Spanos looking to take advantage of a little bit of the
Very two-handed.
30 seconds to be served by the in-home. 13 White will serve the foul. Offsides, technical foul. 13 White will serve the foul.
Jake Taylor will serve. Miss having him on these broadcasts. Always wish him well. Spanos.
That's a lot of cushion. That is a lot of cushion.
That is a bad turnover, man up.
That's going to drive John Tillman nuts.
They get it back, though. Can
Blown
they take advantage here? Spanos, Urksa.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release.
Step down too high.
Notre Dame.
Finley. Push back behind the goal. Try to get the pick action to Kavanaugh. Instead, it's up top. Harris gonna have to make something happen. Try to feed it inside, force it inside, and the between the leg shot hits the outside of the cage. Wow!
You're never safe with
Maryland has gone primarily with Shea Keithler at the faceoff dot. They could throw Sean Crater out there, but they're going with Keithler.
That should be a push. Crater was one of the top face-off guys in the country 2 years ago as a high school player. Keither has the experience, and both of these guys got to go against Luke Weirman last year in practice every day.
Urksa. Nowhere to go. Slide comes, forces the errant pass.
That's the type of play that's going to drive Tillman crazy. Basic transfer. Like, you have to make that pass if you're Maryland.
Here come the Irish. Ramsey stays on to set a pick for Kavanaugh. Can't get under his defender. Now he goes to the other side. Look at the attention he draws.
That's advantage Will Schaller. Like I said it in the first quarter, you don't want to get into the box. Against Georgetown, you saw him doing some like traditional midfield type dodges, sweeping from across the top part of the offense.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I got 3 here.
Spanos on light. That's been a great matchup to watch all game long. 7 in black, 90 in white. Ford, tight angle, scores!
This is exactly my point. You don't need a pick if you decide to go with this type of matchup when you have Ford, who has a short stick on him right away. That's Ben Ramsey now has been beat for 2 goals. One against Schultz, now against Ford. And Ford is a natural left-handed player, but because of all these lefties on this team, with Keegan and Whittier, he's got to play the right side, but he just shows you he's able to do that. He absorbs stature to Will Schaller. Smaller, really strong, fire hydrant type defenders, and he beat him in space early in that game when he dodged down the alley up top. I'd like to see that from him.
Inside, wide open, save made!
That's where you see McNaney's
Spanos. Aiken. Spins back now to his right, doesn't have an angle on goal. Aiken again, he's got his defender hung up. Looking for a cutter, couldn't get it to Kelly. Now he comes upfield, tries to roll back, shoots, and scores. They'll wave it off though. It was a shot clock violation a second before he got off a spectacular shot.
That would have been incredible. Aiden Aiken scored the first goal of his career.
Hey, the Ally ACC Women's Basketball Tournament begins Wednesday in Greensboro. We'll have all first and second round action for you, as well as 2 quarterfinal matchups right here on the ACC Network. It is that time of year.
You watch this Terp defense. They pack it in. They know they have a goalie in Logan McNaney. They want you to beat them from the outside.
turnover. Mugged, had to get it to Whittier up top. Ford trying to find some space where there isn't any. 10 to shoot. Spanos gonna have to make something happen here. Has no angle. Light shut it down. But he gets it up top. Ford scores!
What a pass by Eric Spanos. You see the defense shading to the ball carrier. Where's the opening? It's diagonal. Look at all the white shirts. Discombobulated. The backside's open. And what did I tell you earlier about Bryce Ford? He's a natural lefty. He's at his sweet spot. He's got the time. He's got the room. He sets his feet and pounds that bottom corner.
And Will Gallagher, it's the second time today he's made a great hustle play to get possession back to his team.
Timeout coming up, under 7.
If I'm Notre Dame, I'm putting 14 in white on the field. Oh, they get off sides here. That's a tough, tough blow.
Coach Corrigan, if I'm coach, I don't want to be in that huddle. We're coming in here. Door shuts on him. They'll bring it back to Spanos. He's got Gallagher on him. Tough angle here. Ricciardelli shuts the door. Now Ramsey will look to clear it on his own, and he'll easily do so. Instead, it's Maharis and Jeffrey and Finley, your midfielders. On the run, McNaney saw it all the way. 7 saves.
I like the burst by Jeffrey, but you got to change up your shot against McNaney. I mean, that's 2 for a buck.
That's one of my favorite sayings from you all the time. Dangerous here. McNaney loses a stick. This is a problem for Maryland. Oh, what a defensive play!
Desperation mode. That's a good ride by Jeffrey right there, and just misfortune.
Like a 2-on-1 in basketball. Here's face-on, makes one man miss, then gets the ball knocked out of his stick.
What a grounder by Schaller. Terps in transition.
Oh my goodness, Daniel Kelly lights up the crowd here at Bobby Dodd.
I told you earlier, there are times they want to run, and they can run because of the sticks of their defenders. They've shown in the early stages of 2025, they will push. Larkin's been a goal scorer, but that time he knows. Give it to the hired lefty gun, the senior. It's been the defensive effort of the Terps. Pack it in approach. Chris Cavanaugh right now being defended by Will Schaller. Schaller's been amazing in this game.
Well, you get them the ball there, and Jake Taylor doesn't miss.
Can't defend Taylor like a typical crease guy. He's shown you over the years he has some range too. So right there, Burles just shows too much. That is not the time to slide off of Jake Taylor. He's not beat. Your defensive midfielder is not beat. Bug 10 in black and light 90 is matching his feet. It's like long strides against choppiness.
Spanos beats Alakwa. Now the slide comes. From distance, it's Schultz. His second of the day.
Someone needs to tap this kid on the shoulder and remind him he's just a true freshman. And I say that because his confidence is off the charts. When I watched him last week against Princeton when he scored 2 goals, he was going to the rack like it was a summer league game. Like, he is going. He's not going to be denied. Spanos again pries the defense, gets the eyes on him.
Ursa loses it.
There's light again.
If you're a Notre Dame fan, ball don't lie. With Kavanaugh.
He's got Daniel Kelly on him. This is a matchup you have to stick.
Harris, tough angle.
Keep Daniel Kelly on the field. 45 and black is an attackman.
Kavanaugh, tough angle off the outside. Ooh, big hit delivered right after the horn sounded to end this third. And how do the national champions play in this fourth quarter when you know they've got the experience, the championship pedigree to take it back? And it starts with that man right there. Will Lynch re-exerts his dominance at the face-off dot. That time Maryland opted to go with Keithler. It seems like Lynch has gotten the better of 25 in black. To McLean. Over to Angrick. Angrick working on the short. He gets back to his left. Has a shot here. Opted not to take it. Had an alley there. Now face on. Slide comes. Kavanaugh. Inside of 10 to shoot. He's going to have to make something happen. Flies through the air and scores! And it's good!
This is ridiculous. And it's vintage Chris Kavanaugh. As his family looks on, get the pick set by Boosingkill, and then it's airborne. And there's no goal mouth to deal with behind the cage. Ball crosses the plane before he lands in the crease. The timing to launch.
And the placement high above McNaney.
You know you're getting drilled here. The strength and the extension of the stick
into the corner.
This is a thing of beauty. Balance, strength, and skill. The balance to hold yourself there for that extra
195th career point. Maybe the most beautiful of them all for Chris Kavanaugh. And it's back to a one-goal game.
And he's never out. Like, Shaller's been really good in this matchup. Kavanaugh is always going to keep going. 110 miles per hour. That's another offsides by Notre Dame. That is uncharacteristic of the Irish.
Quick start here for Maryland. And they find a player inside. Urso scores! Disastrous turn of event after the gorgeous goal from Chris Kavanaugh. And it's back to a 2-goal advantage.
Second box violation in this half. Quick offense. We know Maryland likes to go slow sometimes in the half-field sets, but don't tell me they don't know how to play fast. You saw Larkin to Kelly in the third quarter, then a quick restart. They sense when they have an opening. They have a feel of when to go fast.
McNaney got a piece of that bouncer, so it's a fresh 60 for Notre Dame. A prolonged offensive possession here for the Irish. Finley uses that big body, gets some space, hit the pipe. Then he'll stay with Notre Dame. Good hustle by, that was like Jay Taylor tracking it down. It was.
Got some jets I didn't know he had.
No question about it. He usually doesn't have to run that often in his space. Jeffrey, saved by McNaney, and a great outlet pass. 11 saves for the All-American. Ursa. Spanos scores!
Connor, this play has a little bit of everything. Watch the patience of Logan McNaney. I mentioned it off the top in the open. He sits on shots. He relies on his technique. Look how deep his stick is. Just sitting on that shot, not jumping around. Then it's transition once again. And look at the underneath. Whoop! Take those extra steps. Keep that angle popping. Spanos has been insanely productive in this matchup. After the pick, he was staring at the full net.
Again on the shorty. Gets underneath the defender. Had to pass it up to Kavanaugh up top. No angle. Angrick to the middle. Nice pass inside. Saved by McNaney. He's taken over this fourth quarter.
'12th save for the 6-year senior.
Erk's on light. Here's Keegan on the shorty with the left. Ricciardelli, he goes up to make a nice save. That's 7 on stick of a teammate. 40 to shoot, plenty of time, no need to panic. Inside between the legs, Kavanaugh can't get it past McNaney.
Look, a lot of times you're going to say that's not the right shot, but when your back's to the net and you don't know where the defensive pressure is coming from, you got to give Kavanaugh the green light on this to take a shot like that. Now, if he knows there's no one in front of him, he can catch. I spoke to John Tillman this week. I said, wow, 5 as a freshman, like the confidence that he plays with.
Only enhanced by the fact that he gets to play with 7. Spanos now on the run. Save made by Ricciardelli. He's going to try an outlet quickly. Shoveled over to Taylor. Great pass inside. Kavanaugh's not going to miss. Taylor's usually on the receiving end of passes like that.
Yeah, Taylor spot feeds Kavanaugh, but Will Donovan with the little goose play right there. That goes unnoticed. You won't see it on the stat sheet. Will Donovan just gooses it to Taylor because he knows there's some pressure behind him. Give it to Taylor, his hands are free, and Kavanaugh times that cut perfectly. And he shoots it at the... He was a regular midfielder. Got to play both ends. A lot of tread on the tire right now as a face-off guy.
Kavanaugh shoots, scores! And a flag on the end of it to boot. Notre Dame's gonna go man up.
You can knock him down, but he's getting back up. There's no question about it. He's been amazing in this fourth quarter with 3 goals. Dodging in the last 2, shooting. He gets popped.
It's good. After the goal, Black, number 6, late hit, 1 minute. It's a dead ball.
Call's going to go against Gravino, Paul.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at this. Kavanaugh with that little hitch move, too. When he drops his plant foot, he gets...
And now a huge opportunity here for the Irish. Storming back here in this fourth quarter.
Okay, they're deciding to shade Kavanaugh a little bit. Look how packed in Maryland's defense is.
Busenkill has a great shot up top there, and he opts not to take it. Now back to Kavanaugh on the far side. Now inside, tried to force feed it in.
That's not where you're going to have success against this defense. Right now, whether it's all even or man down, they are packing it in. Inviting the outside shot. So who are the outside slingers? Dobson was one of those last year. He's not on the roster anymore.
McDonald can opt to shoot it instead. He passes it off, and it's a short-handed goal from Maryland, and a flag on the end of that goal. Wow!
Larkin and McDonald are as good of a duo.
Foul, push, wiped out, goes good.
McDonald right here in transition, just like Larkin, has the green light. And the timing of these attackmen you saw.
Meanwhile, Notre Dame, they're against Ohio State at home next week. Spanos, shot clock winding down. Ricciardelli takes it out of the sky. Ramsey will clear it on his own. No panic with the Irish. Under 4 to play. Down 2. Here's Faison. Getting a lot more run in this fourth quarter than he did in the third.
Kavanaugh's been the hot hand with 3 goals in this fourth quarter. He's been doing it as a Dodger and an outside shooter. You know he wants to rock in crunch time. 50 and white.
Here we go. Angrick comes back upfield to increase his angle. Skip pass. Tried to force it to Angrick. He does catch it. Now it's loose in front. Dangerously here. Just gets by the goal mouth. Keegan. Urksa. Maybe they'll play a little 2-man game behind. Instead, it's Keegan looking to take it upfield. Lockwood doing a nice job sticking to him. Tough angle shot. It's the pipe. Ricciardelli chases it down. He's in a little bit of...
Say, I want to be doing this one day. And that's what it's about with these neutral site games. And when you go to places like Atlanta, Georgia, you have that opportunity.
Faison scores on the run. There he is. 14 and white.
Oh, boy. I was calling for him earlier because he's matchup proof. It doesn't matter if you put a pole on him or a short stick. You don't need to be gimmicky. You could just say, my athlete is the best on the field. And he flies and he sticks. The top corner, the opposite side of Logan McNaney, the lefty goalie, put...
Up in the air to the far end as the clock hits triple zeros. The Maryland Terrapins exact a little revenge after losing 3 in a row, including last year's national championship game here in Atlanta. And they take a hard-fought 1-goal win over the top-ranked team.